I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats at SMITHEE TV in downtown Toronto. I'm here with actress CLARA MONROY and filmmaker Lina Rodriguez. How does it feel to have your film, Señoritas, opening up here in Toronto?
I'm super excited. I mean, I was originally born in Colombia, but I've been living in Toronto for 14 years. I'm a Canadian citizen too, so the film opened in Colombia. It had the world premiere of the big festival in Colombia, which is kind of like the TIFF, and I've been here for 14 years. I studied film here, so for me to have the chance to show the film in Toronto, I'm so excited. And Bell Lightbox is like a beautiful cinema.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And CLARA, you play the mother in the film, and you're also Lina's real-life mother. What was it like for you getting into character? And tell me a little bit about the on-set relationship that the two of you had.
Que tú eres mi mamá en la vida real y haces de mamá en la película, que le cuentes un poco de tu proceso, de cómo fue el proceso de actuación de estar en set y cómo fue nuestra relación de directora-actriz.
Oh, sí, ok. Pues en esta relación fue bien porque hice en forma muy natural de mamá, pienso eso.
So she's saying that in this situation she was obviously my mom, so she felt that she was very natural at playing the role of a mother.
La relación pues como hija realmente traté de diferenciar que era hija en la vida, que ella era mi hija en la vida real, sino que estaba cumpliendo un papel para el cual me había comprometido. Entonces trabajé un poco en forma independiente, olvidándome que en sí era la mamá de Lina.
And of course in set, because although of course she's my mom, she realized that I was a director, so she tried to work as an actress and kind of like relate to me as a director as much as possible.
And the film is also, it has a sexual undertone to it. It's very intimate. Can you tell me a little bit about the inspiration for the film and how you captured a very realistic view of what it's like sort of growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Colombia as a woman, and I was really interested in kind of capturing that moment when you're kind of entering adulthood and you're trying to figure out what kind of person to be and how there's a difference between how you are in public and in private. So to kind of show that, I really focused on body language and gestures and how space and time and other people affect how you move. So I really wanted to show kind of like her anxiety, but also her interests in relating to people through the way she moved. So I think that gave it a lot of intimacy on how we shot the film. And it's based, it's inspired on my experiences, but obviously it's not literal. So for the process of casting, my casting sessions are a little bit less traditional. So it's more like interviews. So I interviewed a lot of young women, and it was like 45 to 50-minute interviews where we would just talk about different things. So I was also kind of feeling the temperature of what women were interested in, what they were going through. And I found like a lot of similarities, I guess, in how my process was when I was entering my 20s. So I used a lot of the information from the interviews to kind of nurture the script and the process, and then working with actors. They didn't have a script. Like, I didn't show them a script, so we were just working with frameworks that I gave them a scene. So we were always feeding the scenes with the present, with a little bit of their personalities, with a little bit of how they were relating to each other on screen. So I think that gives it like a lot of kind of like realism, naturalistic performances, and I think that's part of the intimacy that you see.
And CLARA, what do you think of the finished product of the film, as well as your husband, who's sitting over there?
¿Qué piensas de la película terminada? ¿Cuál es tu opinión de la película terminada?
Me parece que es un buen retrato de las jóvenes en Colombia en particular, pero también de las jóvenes del mundo cuando están en esa edad explorando su sexualidad y su relación con las demás personas. Y sin olvidar...
So I can translate because I'll forget. She thinks it's a really good portrait of young women that are exploring their sexuality, particularly in Colombia, but she thinks that it can be a universal thing for women in the world, like young women in the world.
Sin olvidar la relación ya con la única persona de su familia, que es la mamá, donde se desarrollan también escenas muy normales, diría yo un poco de ingenuidad de la mamá con relación a en lo que anda la hija.
And also showing a portrait of the relationship with the mother in a very quotidian way, that in a way she feels that maybe the mother could be a little bit, or could be like a little bit naive, not actually knowing the whole scope of what her daughter is doing, but still kind of exploring the mother-daughter relationship in that time of life.
And a lot of the scenes are a little bit longer, one in particular where the protagonist is walking down the street and it seems like it's going a long time and it's dark outside, and I think as women we've all been walking down the street and you hope that it's safe or someone following you, but can you tell me a little bit about that choice and why you decided to do it?
Yeah, I mean, totally what you just said. I think, as I was saying, I think it was interested in exploring the gestures and how it feels to be a woman more through body language. So I wanted to explore how a young woman moves in the privacy of her home when she's like doing exercises in the morning, how a woman feels when she's in the city and how she reacts to the city. So of course, I mean, any city, but Bogota as well, at night, there's a very particular atmosphere when you as a woman are walking down a park. And I wanted to, so instead of making a scene about a practical thing, which normally would be more like, you have a scene like that, so you want to show that people go from point A to point B, I wanted to explore the atmosphere of going through that space and what it feels like. And I felt that the duration was really important because it was about crossing that space and playing a little bit with sound. And as a woman, then you don't know, I don't think only as a woman, but I think in general you don't know if it's dark and if it's like empty, you don't know if you hear something, if someone's behind you. So I was trying to play a little bit with like the paranoia of the idea of walking alone in a park as a woman. So it was very important for me that it felt that we could feel her walking instead of just showing that she was just going to go to the store, to her house, and it was just a more pragmatic scene. Yeah.
And you've also done a lot of work in short films as well as exhibitions. Can you tell me a little bit about how your previous work helped influence this project?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of the shorts that I've made are more experimental, so they're kind of exploring a little bit what I was talking about now. They're exploring a little bit of form, so how duration and atmosphere and editing can just give us an idea as an audience of an emotion, not necessarily through dialogue, but through like the formal elements of film, so image and sound, and how those kind of are juxtaposed and give us, like, evoke different feelings and emotions and thoughts. So my short films explore that. It's funny because one of my short films, for example, has more cuts than my feature film because I wanted to create this kind of more accelerated rhythm. I also did some performance artwork, and it was, it's about putting yourself and your body in a situation where you're live and people are watching you. So I think thinking about like how actions are captured and how we behave in front of other people is something that I'm exploring in my films, how like our performance as ourselves is informed by the city, the society that we live in, our family, the men or the women in our lives. Again, like the city, the country, the cultural kind of framework of the specific place that you're in. So I think, for sure, I'm interested in formal exploration of film and in the performance of the self.
Yeah. And Clara, do you think that you'll be doing a lot of acting in the future?
Que si crees que vas a seguir actuando en el futuro.
Pues si se presenta la oportunidad, claro que sí, con una buena dirección y enfocado en un buen tema.
Of course, she's open if a really good opportunity arises and there's a really good direction and really good theme that is being explored, of course.
And tell me where we can find out more information on you and the film and how we can see it as well online.
Great. So unfortunately online it's not available right now, but we're really excited that it's going to be opening at TIFF Bell Lightbox as of August 22nd. You can go to the TIFF website for tickets. I don't think they're on sale yet, but they'll be on sale before the screening. It's a 1-week run. And then you can find more information about the film on rayonvert.ca. So it's RAYONVERT.ca.
And your upcoming project as well.
Yeah, so I'm currently actually going to do casting for my new film in Colombia, in Bogota, in August, and I'm going to be shooting in January.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on the film, and have an amazing time here in Toronto.
Muchas gracias. Me siento muy complacida.
Okay, gracias.
Yeah, she's very excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats in downtown Toronto.